adventures in a great new show. C'est an all-new Saturday morning. You see it bien, c'est an all-new Saturday morning.
Hello and welcome to Classic Cartoon Rewind, the podcast we provide audio commentary and watch-along tracks for cartoons published between 1940 to 1999 that are either based on or inspired by comic books. I'm your host, Carter Hutchison.
And I'm your co-host, Nat Yantz.
Nat, good to have you back through the miracle of the internet into the GRC studio here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, man. Continuing our journey. I was about to say like trudge, but that makes it sound like it's, like a pain in the ass or something. Yeah, this is joyful. Getting to go through schlep. Getting to go through all these Batman Anime Series episodes from the 90s. So we've got another two-parter today. It's The Cat and the Claw, part 1 and 2. Episodes 15 and 16, respectively, of the series. So any thoughts, any nostalgia or anything tied to these episodes?
I definitely had, and as I'm sure would make the producers of the show very happy, I had a couple of Catwoman action figures or related toys back in the day. Mm-hmm. One, like you push a button, probably on her back, and I think the claws came out or something like that. Okay. Definitely one had the very stiff plastic whip that was like, in pre-whip.
Sure. Sure, it was cocked
position.
And loaded, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, locked and loaded. Yeah. And I actually really enjoy that costume of the
with the gray
character. Yeah, the gray on the outside and the black sort of like half face hood.
Right.
Half face mask, I should say. It's, to me, it's iconic because it's the first one I saw.
I agree. This or the Michelle Pfeiffer one. And funny that you mentioned that, the action figures. I've always been a big action figure guy, even as a kid.
Oh, hell yeah.
Especially as a kid, I should say. Especially as a kid. But I think the only Catwoman action figure I ever had was the Michelle Pfeiffer one, which is a weird one to let if you're a parent, to, here. You
didn't have any of the, like, mini McDonald's, like any of the Batman toys, or just specifically?
Oh no, I had a lot of Batman toys, but specifically Catwoman.
Yeah, no, I know you had the
toys.
I
think I only had the Michelle Pfeiffer one.
Because there were definitely a plethora of Catwoman toys, I believe.
There were the animated series?
Yeah, that was the series that McDonald's released.
Okay, I probably just never kept up with those. But I wasn't eating a lot of McDonald's at those days. That's right. For sure. That's for sure.
I was going to say your overall health and well-being. Well, thank you, but
I mean, yeah, but the toy though.
Yeah, but the toy,
right? But that 5-cent bit of plastic that's been molded and painted barely.
Hey, that toy's gonna be around for thousands of years.
For real, we will all be dead and gone, and that there's a Catwoman toy, that will survive.
Thank God for artifacts.
Yeah, them and like Funko Pops will be at the end of the world. Okay, so the Cat and the Claw is kind of an interesting two-parter in that, one, from a series perspective, part 1 was actually used as the premiere for the series. It aired on September 5th of 1992, while part 2 didn't air until the 12th. So, of course, those in production-wise were made in the episode number of 15 and 16. But as far as just the public seeing it, this first Catwoman episode was one of the introductions to that. And I think that's a really good introduction into just the whole world of Batman the Animated Series. Maybe better than On Leather Wings.
Mm-hmm. Because Man-Bat is not nearly as iconic as Catwoman.
No, that's fair. And I heard this the other day, that Catwoman and the Joker are Batman's longest-running villains.
I believe that.
Right. It just makes sense that they're so, tied and close to him always.
Yeah. Wasn't the Joker in the first Batman story?
In Batman #1, yes. But just
not the first
Superman
Batman,
#1.
Not Detective
No.
Comics. Yeah.
The villain of Detective 27, I want to say, is that the first one?
Wrong person.
The villain of the first Detective Batman issue was the Monk. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah. Okay. Now,
Right.
that
That,
does
like,
ring the bell. Actually.
hypnotizes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you read some Grant Morrison issue somewhere where he because everything happened. You know.
Yeah.
Man.
I think he mentions it too in Super Gods.
I love that book. Or
It's
the
so
book or
good.
the documentary?
The book. I've never seen the documentary.
Ooh, yes, and it is free on YouTube. There are a lot of great free comic book documentaries are a plethora on YouTube.
For the listener at home, I just made a very impressed.
Right, yeah. Go down that rabbit hole and you'll come out days later. Yeah, so I think that's kind of all I want to get into before we actually start the episode. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't actually remember the plot of this one.
Oh, really? It gets real like like a militarized Greenpeace or something, or like militarized PETA. Here, speaking of, we had an off-mic conversation about politically correct before we started.
Let's
see how that feeds into this episode from 1992 through 2019.
Sounds like it could be a totally separate issue, or
probably. Yeah,
or this might be the last episode of the podcast.
Nah,
I'm just kidding.
We'll be fine. So before we get it fired up, here is a quick message from our Patreon. All of Grassroots Comics is funded through our Patreon, patreon.com/grassrootscomics. For as little as $1 a month, you can become part of the Grassroots Comics community, which includes many perks, such as having your name mentioned in this segment of every episode of the podcast, the ability to suggest topics of discussion for shows like These Guys Have Issues, access to the private Grassroots Comics subreddit where members can continue discussions started on the podcast or start their own, behind-the-scenes access to the GRC studio, and early access to digitally released comics and Classic Cartoon Rewind. So it is the goal of all of us here at Grassroots Comics Productions that one day the Patreon is strong enough where we are able to produce the stories, artwork, and stop-motion animation shorts pitched and selected by the Grassroots Comics community. But the only way that becomes possible is with a strong Patreon. So if you feel that the entertainment value you receive from this podcast is at least worth 25 cents, then please become a Patreon contributor today, and with our powers combined, we can have all of our stories heard. All right, now let's get on with the rest of the show. All right, and we'd like to thank our patrons as always, Adam Finney and Devin Hood. So kiddos, if you're watching along with us, I have the WB logo on pause. You all ready, Nat?
Yep.
Cool. And I am hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Gone.
In all seriousness, the internet is fucking nuts, man. How, like, just in case you don't know, like, I'm in Alabama and Nat here is in California.
Oh man, hot take.
I'm just saying, right? How many
it's nuts.
Like Boomhauer here from King of the Hill. You know?
Yeah.
Internet, man. They got some great stuff on that internet, man. But for real though, just to be able to like sync up a cartoon or something and watch with someone literally a country away, is a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah, 2 separate coasts.
Yep.
It's pretty
if you
nuts.
consider us East Coast, I don't, southeast.
Certainly closer than here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
If Georgia weren't so stupid fat as a state.
Yeah, Georgia.
I mean, literally, it is one of the widest states in the middle.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
All right. I also mean the people fat.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And disgusting and ugly.
Sure. Mississippi and Alabama say what's up. As an Alabamian.
Right.
Right. It's cool. I get to say it. Part of it.
Well, that's like out here, people make Alabama jokes and be like, whoa, you can't say that.
Right.
And they're like, well, you do. And it's like, yeah, I get to.
It's like when someone makes fun of your brother or your sister.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't get to say that. Okay, so iconic image here of Catwoman scaling a building with nothing but her, cat claw.
Now, do you think they turned the camera sideways and she just
Oh, God, I can only hope. That's just wonderful. Speaking of Burt Ward, speaking of the 66 Batman show, I should say, and then taking a leap to Burt Ward, right. Did you see that he is going to be in that Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover that the CW is doing?
I saw a headline.
Yep. I recently saw a picture of him, and he's not quite the same,
I can't
Robin that he used to be in like.
Do the pixie boots still fit?
he, thank God, was not in that costume. Like, just thank you so much who made that decision that we shouldn't do this. Don't do this to that poor man.
He suffered enough.
Right. Just the whole rest of his life having to be, Robin from that show. That being said, I love that. I love the Adam West Batman show.
Oh, sure. It's great.
Yeah. And in general, I usually think that TV as a format fits comic book storytelling more than movies. Unfortunately, the budget requirements usually require it needing to be a motion picture. Motion picture. Who talks like that?
Right. Cinema, Carter. It's cinema.
Right. Fair enough. According to Martin Scorsese, is it cinema? Oh, it's relevant.
So I'm wondering about this. Look at the character design. Do you think they made her belt as big and obvious as his on purpose for this show?
I think there's a lot of parallels. Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly why you do that, is for a kid to be like, hey, they're kind of the same, but
maybe they're in love. They're wearing their similar belts.
Why don't you just get married then? If you have the same belt, if you love it so much, just get married. And Tom King said no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not read a single issue of his Batman, and I'm very scared too.
It's parts have its moments, but the whole general, yeah. I don't want to get into a Tom King bashing thing here. I don't have that. I don't enjoy it that much. The Bat book I enjoy the most on the shelf right now is Batman Universe.
Yeah.
That's Brian Michael Bendis and Nick Darrington. Good God.
Darrington's art.
Darrington is fucking great, man. I don't know if I get to call him friend of the podcast or not, since I think he's part of the page on Grassroots Comics. I'm not sure. I think he is. Anyways, his art is just wonderful, heavily inspired by Batman the Animated Series.
Makes sense.
All right.
I'll just never get over sorry to change the subject away from that, but I'll never get over the score in this show.
It feels cinematic.
And yet Looney Tunesy at times with the xylophones, but not in a bad way. Because anytime you want to inject a touch of class into something, make it Looney Tunes-esque. Or reference Looney Tunes.
Right. Because that's, classic cartoons.
Yeah. Somebody should do a podcast about that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe where they kind of rewind them. Because, remember, VCR players? Kind of like that?
Yeah.
If we had a pause on a VCR.
Save the Cat.
There's a joke there, but I won't make it. It's too low-hanging fruit. Podcast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, now, is this a thing? I know that dog whistles are a thing. Are cat whistles a thing?
I can only assume that they must be. I mean, I have no idea if people actually make cat whistles, because cats would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop.
Cats would hear it and just be like, no.
I'm eating.
Right. I'm not. Or, I'm comfortable.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm too busy pushing this cup off this shelf.
Right. You a cat or a dog person, Matt?
Both. I like both of them. I grew up with cats.
That is unacceptable as an answer, sir.
I'm sorry. It's the truth. Grew up with cats first. Probably like dogs more, but I also like cats.
How politically correct of you. Wonderful.
Yeah. You know me, running for office.
Oh, man.
I love the just the blue overlay of everybody in the audience. It's good stylistic choices.
Yeah. And cheaper, I'm sure, too.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah.
The mix of costumes in this show, if you can still call them costumes, is a...
Yeah, no, I think that counts. Yeah, 100%. Now, I've said it before, I'm not big on Bruce's color scheme, the whole, yellow and brown thing.
Yeah, you had some opinions on that.
Right, it's a Dwight suit, but, yeah. This tux, he's pulling off, though. Even though the cummerbund, to quote, Lucius Fox, is a little 90s, sir.
Very good.
Who made that outlandish?
Ooh, gotta love the red dress. That's how you know that she's sexy, right?
That's right.
That's very...
Hello, Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, right? Suddenly Bruce's face turns into a big steam whistle.
A wolf head.
Yeah, right.
Tongue rolls out into the floor.
Yeah,
Down
his
the
eyes
step.
start rolling and
Right.
they land on $2 signs. 2 Cupid hearts, I guess.
Love it. Now, how do you feel about Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle as a couple? Period.
Mm,
And I guess, this feeds into is Batman even capable of an actual relationship?
I don't think he's capable of a relationship outside of what he gets from Catwoman.
Sure.
I think Catwoman gives him exactly what he can handle.
The closest to something what normal people might have. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, his level and her level are the equivalent of 2 normal people in a relationship.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, they're working on the same wavelength. That's sure. And
People
when you say
talk about.
level,
Sorry.
do you mean like economical, or what are we talking about?
Oh, I mean that they're both fucking weirdos
Oh, sure. Okay.
with
Yeah.
not normal
Right.
lives.
God, and the Batman Returns does such a great job of nailing that dynamic.
I think. It's just. Oh yeah. So people talk about like the relationship between Batman and Joker. They need each other. They can't be one without the other. And I don't
Right.
agree with that. I think that that's the Joker trying to justify his very existence, whereas
Sure.
Batman's like, I could absolutely be here without.
Right.
In fact, I
think
don't
Batman
want you
would be
here.
fine with it.
And then, but like, I think that better applies to Batman and Catwoman.
That's really
I don't think.
fair.
I think Batman wants Catwoman gone. Bruce Wayne, in whatever shattered psyche he has,
Mhm.
probably doesn't want Catwoman gone.
I think Batman wants her gone when she's not following the law, but there are times
Exactly.
where she's helping him too, so she's in this weird gray area.
I guess I should clarify. I mean Batman in quotations.
Right.
The character Batman as Bruce Wayne sees Batman would not want Selena Kyle around.
Interesting. Okay, sure. Yeah, if Batman is, uncompromising, which is
Yeah.
what Batman is there to
It's
do.
the human side of Bruce intruding on the character that is Batman that allows for the tricky gray area in the relationship.
Right.
But I'm just pulling all this out of my ass right now, so
Yeah.
I think it sounds pretty good. Glad it's being recorded.
Yeah, right. That was not terrible.
I also did you ever play HeroClix?
No.
It's a board game with DC and Marvel superheroes.
Oh, okay.
I liked it a whole lot until I spent all my allowance on it and could not play it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I had the Commissioner Gordon one was so good, and just for some reason, just whoever sculpted that first model that they then mass produced put so much loving detail into it.
Into Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah,
that's
like
great.
the coat that he's wearing, and it's clearly from the animated series.
Yeah.
And it's being blown by the wind or something. This plastic, something's very stiff, just standing there. But the contours of it and the folds are perfect. And like his hair's,
nice.
That little hair horn that he's got is totally being blown back.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So it's kind of wispy even, and neat.
Great.
Neat.
All right, here's Bruce in the suit you don't like.
God, yeah, it's a terrible suit. Like, even who thought that suit ever was... Dude, Obama can't wear a tan suit, man. Like, you can't wear a tan suit.
I was just talking with somebody about that today.
Really?
Yeah.
The tan suit?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the, environmentalist side. I can't really think of any other incarnation of Catwoman where that's, like, her main motivator.
No, it's almost like she's closer aligned with Poison Ivy in this one.
That's exactly what she is just Poison Ivy, but for animals instead of plants. Do you know who you're talking to? I'm Bruce Wayne, bitch. Like,
I forget who plays her.
The voice of Catwoman?
Yeah.
I can look it up. They do an amazing job.
Yeah.
That's a classic villain motif, right? Playing some notes, on some kind of computer thing, and a little miniature rises up out of the floor. Like, nothing good's going to come out after that.
I mean, that's layer building 101.
It reminds me of the one from Last Crusade, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Catwoman, did you see that the Batman movie cast their Catwoman?
Yes, I was
Zoe
actually going to send you that, and then I saw you had posted it.
Yep. Shared it already to the Grassroots Comics page.
Which is fine with me.
Oh, yeah. No, I think she'll be great.
Yeah, she'll kill it.
What I like about picking her in general is that she voiced Catwoman for Batman, the Lego Batman movie.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go.
The Claw. And not the Doctor, Inspector Gadget villain.
Right. Nor is it Claw from Marvel Comics.
Who's Claw in, I don't think I know that one.
Claw, the vibranium sound-based bad guy. He was in Black Panther, the movie.
Oh, God. Oh,
yeah.
Sure. Andy, right?
Serkis, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I wouldn't be surprised if his fucking full name was Victor Von Claw or something. A product of Stan Lee's patented method of I'm writing 90 comics at once, figure it out your fucking self.
Jesus, for real. Okay, so to answer your question of who is the voice of Selena Kyle, it is Adrienne Barbeau, who's in...
No way!
Escape from New York.
No way!
She's also in Argo, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, she used to be so hot.
Yes.
She's also incredibly talented.
Yeah, not to take anything away. Sure.
No, of course not. But she was like the horror movie icon for so long.
Right.
I was actually just talking to somebody else today about Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh, that's great. Apparently she was in Swamp Thing as well, so that's kind of cool that she has, roots, if you will, in two different areas of DC. Yeah, see what I did there? Because Swamp Thing,
that dude not wearing socks?
Like plants.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but
right, come on, Mr.
He's an executive.
Mustache. Right. You spend all that time on your mustache and you can't be bothered to put on socks?
Right? This guy is one who needs a mustache.
You think so? Think we'd just complete the red and black suit motif?
It's also weird that she brings a cat with her.
I mean,
obviously this cat is hyper intelligent, but
well trained. I think you could train. I've seen cats trained to use the toilet and flush.
I've seen that too. Yeah.
So that doesn't seem that outlandish to me.
All right, so we bring this up just about every episode, but let's talk about what it takes to break into the Claws gang if you want to be a goon.
Okay.
How does she... what's the criteria? What past experience do you need? Is it map reading? Does she have a projectionist? Who's the projectionist for this crime syndicate?
Sure, some guy is probably, a art school dropout here.
Can you break into evil AV? Because, I want to do that.
Evil AV. Yeah, if you need, I can produce that for you. There we go. You're not a huge James Bond guy, are you?
I like James Bond just fine.
Okay. You seen Moonraker?
That's the only one that I've read the book and haven't seen the movie.
Oh, the book is great.
The book's,
great.
Amazing.
The movie is not. But
I think about the book a surprising amount.
The movie, that's my favorite Bond book. Not to bring that into, Bond and my Batman here. A little chocolate getting in my peanut butter.
Right.
But no, there's in the movie Moonraker, To get into a villain base, you have to play music like that as well, and it's the theme from Close Encounters with the Third Kind.
Oh, nice.
Because, it's a space movie, and they gotta shove that in your face the whole time.
That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
Look at that old-ass camera.
Oh, that's like a spy camera, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't that, fit into something else? Or just her purse?
Right. This camera is so high-tech, I can fit it in my bag.
Wow. Yeah, when we were doing Johnny Quest on the show, it got to that point at sometimes where it's supposed to clearly be this, whoa, I can't believe they have that kind of, near future technology.
Retro-futuristic.
Right.
All of this data is on the tape reel.
Quick, get the microfiche.
And yet they've also got giant walking eyeball robots.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. Dr. Zen.
Well, they'll be so much bigger using that era's technology. Oh, man, look at that sniping whiplash motherfucker.
Yeah, no, true. That guy looks like he should be tying someone to a railroad track later.
Right.
Chasing after Dudley Do-Right.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting the scene choices that we've been given.
She has cat theme.
Cat drops.
Yeah. Oh man, that's terrible.
I guarantee somebody in the writer's room made
100%. 100%.
Also, not to quote El Dorado here, but A Road to El Dorado, but where was she keeping them? Certainly not in the cat.
I mean, you gotta assume that belt has compartments, right?
Yeah. A mutility belt.
Sure. Oh, Jesus. Thank God she didn't do that stuff.
Oh, I know. This is not 66.
Okay, now Eartha Kitt could pull that off.
True.
But...
Wait, why did he shoot around that and not get the lock and then kick the middle of the door?
He shot the plank. Shot through the door to bust up the plank so that he can then to make it weak so he can kick it.
Damn, I thought I'd found a plot hole.
Nah, cartoon physics. Meanwhile, this lady jumps from building to building.
I know what I'll do. I'll shoot her.
Oh. Yeah, that doesn't work out well in cartoons usually. Okay, nope. That is... I'm just trying to think what gun that's supposed to be.
I don't think it's supposed to have a real world equivalent, to be quite honest.
Right.
Ooh.
All right, and the hero gets a kiss. And he likes it.
Mm-hmm.
I kissed the cat and I liked it. It's the best I got for Katy Perry.
I like it.
Yeah, it's hotter that way, Batman.
Right.
Duh. Y'all are both clearly into fetishes. You don't take the GIMP mask off.
No, not until you hear the safe word.
Right, until someone opens that zipper.
Right?
On the mouth.
Of course.
The zipper mouth.
God, I feel like you need a lot of chapstick after a session.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not even sure exactly where that goes, but I'm leaving it there.
I just mean if you've got zipper on your lips the entire time.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Now, there's a classic scene, too, her looking over that rooftop. If there's an animation cell out there somewhere of that, oh, boy. Oh, boy. That is one hobby/collector, area that I would love to get further into. I have one cell, and that's, kind of cool to say in general. And it's from the X-Men animated series from the 90s.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got Jubilee in it. So
nice.
That's kind of cool.
First mutant you see.
Yeah, it's got to. It's definitely not from the first episode.
Right.
It's definitely not.
From one of the weird spin-offs that nobody actually watched of Super Friends, I have seen a cell of Wonder Woman and Darkseid.
What?
In a comic book shop, and I thought about buying it when the comic book shop was going out of business.
That's gotta be worth something.
Well, it was, I forget, it was $200 for 50% off or something like that.
That's not
so
that
the
bad.
original would have been $400, but
right.
But they had a rare signing of a 70s reproduction of the first of Superman #1 that had been signed by Siegel and Schuster,
dude,
which you can't really find because
right.
of Schuster's health. He never went on the touring circuit. Anyway, so that was our discussion of Cat and Claw Part 1.
Yes. What did that run first, if you happen to remember? Like
the one that I bought?
The Superman, signed, yeah.
What do you mean? What did I pay for it? Or
you
what?
bought that one?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know you owned that. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's got like the certificate of authenticity and everything.
That's amazing.
I want to say it was $500 to begin with, which was out of my price range.
Though.
But
I mean, you're right that you see that, you got to jump on that.
Well, it was the comic book shop in North Hollywood that was closer to my girlfriend's apartment, and she saw something about it going out of business, and I was immediately putting my socks on. I was like, we're leaving right now.
I'll be there.
Yeah, so like we rushed over there, and I saw the thing, and I agonized over it for a little while, and then I was like, I don't know if I should get it. And my girlfriend was like, don't be a fucking idiot.
Right.
And I was like, you're right. I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You got to get it. Man, I have an opposite moment of that in that I saw Amazing Spider-Man #1 for like $20 or $40, something crazy. I mean, it was graded as like a 1.9 or something like that. Exactly. Yeah. No, I should have gotten it. It was at Dragon Con in Atlanta. But it was like very early in the day, and it looked very fragile. Just the cover was not in great shape.
Was it in the plastic safe case?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Or else I would have brought it. If it was in the plastic safe case, sure, I'll drag that around the rest of the con with me.
Yeah, I totally feel.
But it wasn't, so I just, and I knew we were going out afterwards and everything, like, because we were staying with, anyways. I just didn't think it would, I'd be able to keep care of it throughout the day. It just didn't happen.
Oh yeah, con? Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
That's how you ruin your con experience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, heartbreaking.
Yep, tragic. All right, so Cat and the Claw Part 1. Good little setup here. You have the interesting Claw gang there. Do they ever do anything more with that? Like, can you think of another episode? Is that even... Are those in the comics at all that you're aware of?
Frankly, I don't remember what happens to Claw at the end of this episode. So
right. Well, I mean, I bet you they lose. I could tell you that.
No.
I don't know. This could be the Empire Strikes Back of Batman animated series episode.
No, I don't remember any kind of. Well, I think also it sort of plays more into what you were saying, that this is the only iteration of Catwoman that is more environmentally friendly or people unfriendly.
It's where she's like, that's her sole motive, not sole, but that's her main driving force. Yeah. Instead of just like, she's a cat burglar.
Yeah, and they're her antithesis in that regard.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine a situation.
Because to me, it's not like she's a pure, for Catwoman to have like the moral high ground on another character is odd. Especially in the same episode when you're introducing them. But it's still fun, and the Bruce Wayne, Batman, Selena Kyle, Catwoman dynamic is always fun, where she's more interested in Batman than she is Bruce Wayne.
Sure.
And, that's a classic superhero trope that's been done 1,000 times. But there's a reason it's a classic superhero trope. It's because it always works. So, that's all I got to say about the first one. You ready to fire up the second one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I've got the WB logo on pause, and I'm hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Gone. It's my catchphrase now.
It's gone. It's way gone. It wasn't you that was telling me that theory about how like these guys technically didn't do anything wrong.
Which guys?
The dudes outside the bank. Like
that was not me.
Okay, they don't have.
They're just holding guns outside a bank.
They don't have guns at this point.
Or do they not?
No, they're just outside a bank, in a hat and like, gangsterish looking clothes.
Those
Like they're
bastards.
profiled is really what happens.
Yeah,
But there's
and then
no
they're just
bags of
defending
money.
themselves.
Right. There's no
Yeah,
bags
it's
of
to
money.
stand your ground.
Sure. They get, assaulted by Batman on a rooftop.
Right.
Yeah, those guys walked like that night for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were probably wearing gloves, no fingerprints in the bank.
Because, who does that?
Right? God, perfect.
Oh, come on. You gotta let Catwoman do that some.
Oh, I
No one did it like Eartha Kitt, but still.
Well, it's like in the terrible Catwoman movie with what's her name, Halle Berry, where like one goon opens his mouth and she grabs his tongue, and you're like, dude, you walked into this.
Yeah, because the cat.
You gave her the opportunity.
Cat's got his tongue. That's just awful. I did not realize how many cat puns you could do with Catwoman. There's a lot.
Yeah. Ugh. Really, feline fine.
Man.
See, that's the worst one that I can come up with.
That's pretty bad. That's Roger Moore bad.
Ha! Very good.
Dun, dun, dun. And there
God, I love the title sequences.
Oh, yeah. I do just like how there will be a next time is the lead into part 2.
Right.
The next time.
Yeah. The
odds
neo
of this
noir
lady
is
gets
just
mugged.
perfect.
Oh, no, wait. Is that Bruce?
No.
No.
So?
No.
Could
it's
be.
the guy with no
be.
socks.
It's the guy with no socks.
Right.
What a dick. Can't you ever walk with socks on?
Yeah, Buster Brown. Take that. That's all of them.
That's all the sides.
That's all the sides, Batman. I love rumors.
And train heists.
That's true.
He's like a piece of shit when he he does the thing where he adjusts his suit very
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Right.
Or defiantly in front of Batman. See, hair horn.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think that Commissioner Gordon is Philip J. Fry in the future.
Oh my God, that's great. If Fry's just such an idiot though that I can't adhere to that theory. But
right, that's the shortest train ever.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we got some kind of military envoy here.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Who'd want to steal a can of joints?
Right. Someone's never heard of chemical warfare.
I don't know, boss.
Right.
Oh my God, it's the stupidest looking. This is so good. It's love
great.
this.
It feels like Max Fleischer Superman stuff.
Yes. Ah, yes. I'd like to custom commission a rocket sled. No. For a train track.
Right. That part. I guess that.
I've got the schematics right here.
Right.
You're the third person this week.
We got the Lex Luthor. We got the Joker.
That one we had to send away for the clown-themed parts.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to know where you have to outsource the purple paint to. Plastic.
That bomb had a very short timer.
Right.
For that dude to get away from. I loved the Bat Glider. I had the Batman figure where his cape was like hard plastic.
Nice.
And it had a handle in it, and it turned into the glider.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, there were some great action figures for this back in the day. There's some even better action figures for it out now.
I believe it.
There's Batman with like a bunch of different faces. It's like surprise face and stuff. Action modeling. Even the You know, the Batman thumbs up. That's the GIF from the Be a Clown episode that we watched. Yeah. Because who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want a thumbs up Batman action figure?
Gotta have it.
Right.
Now, for the claw, do you think that that's a hair scar, or she's just lived a very stressful life of metacrime?
Oh, you know, I knew a girl in like elementary school that had it as a birthmark.
Yeah, a hair scar, right?
I've only heard it referred to as a birthmark. Hair scar doesn't quite sound PC enough.
No, it doesn't.
So, I don't know. I think that offended someone.
Oh, you.
Biscuit Batman. Classic. No, I don't think so. Nah. Right. You're tough, Claw, but you know.
You're no Catwoman.
Or Joker, or like just.
You're no Calendar Man.
Oh, geez. Okay. Except for that one time.
Yeah.
That one time Calendar Man mattered. Now you're on the other phone.
Right. He's a drug dealer.
Right. That only Bruce and Gordon's mistress knows the phone number.
Right.
Sarah, is that you?
Look at that handset for a car phone.
Only lately, though, Alfred. Before,
I used to underestimate them all the time. Fuck women. Bruce Wayne, capital misogynist.
Right. I was talking to one of the girls that works with me, and she was telling me how this guy that she dated would say that he did not like female singers because he just didn't like, you know, the female voice. And I was like, that should have been like red flag number one. You know, that's basically just saying, hey, I don't like it when women like express themselves.
Yeah, I hate it.
You know, right?
It's the worst.
Cool.
I guess like and this is grasping at straws here. The only like way to save that would to genuinely be like, I don't like it because I can't sing along.
That's what he says. But still, like,
no, it doesn't make any sense. Still.
You don't have to sing along, and you can take it down an octave or something into your range. Like,
absolutely.
I can't sing like Laura Marling or something, but you know, I sing along with her all the time in the car.
Yeah, I'm no Adele.
No, but in my car alone, I am. Right? I'll Pat Benatar the shit out of that.
Hell yeah. Which way do the rest stop?
It's just some casual. Man, I was thinking the other day. I think I can thank Batman the Animated Series and Bond movies for my love of classic cars. Just not really knowing where that came from. Because I'm not a huge car guy, but I love classic cars, and especially 30s cars with like the rounded headlights and.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's good they're all just still stick shift.
Sure.
I guess technically in the 90s, even when the modern cars back then, they were all still stick shift too.
Yeah, for some, you know.
I mean, it was a lot more money to buy an automatic back then.
Your boyfriend's crazy.
Well, I hope they're all right.
Yeah. They'll live.
Batman doesn't kill people, but Bruce Wayne certainly does.
And Batman.
Yeah.
And right. Batman.
They were
Hey, there they are. Okay.
It's interesting that they made the wrecked like hub, like the wheel well, part of the background. But the mirror was not. I guess because the mirror moved.
Well, because the mirror is animated. Yeah, that's classic Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Only animate what moves.
Mm-hmm. Selena.
Great name. There's not enough Selenas out there.
It is a good name.
Yeah.
Selena Kyle.
And it's not even like a stupid comic book name or something. Like
no,
Betty Brant, you know?
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she's got so much cat stuff in her. Oh my god.
No, she's just really into cats. There's a new bar that opened up in town, by the way, that allows you to drink with cats.
I love it.
Yep. Or maybe it's coffee. Either way, it's still ridiculous, and the hipsters here are loving it.
I mean, I would also love it.
Right. They did get broken into not too long ago.
Was somebody that into cats?
Somebody must be a dog person.
Right.
Right.
Much better. Much better take.
Right.
Cut mine out. Cut mine out.
Oh.
What's Alfred doing? Oh.
Being a detective, apparently. Being a better detective than the world's greatest detective.
Oh, no. Here comes world's greatest detective. Like, Alfred, boy, this is quite short and very coarse. Like Kyle must be poor.
She's one of those, like, she's into nature and the environment. It's kind of all.
I see, Master Bruce. You're into urchin types.
I mean, yeah, Batman's definitely got a type. Now
the one-sided crowbar.
This is only for breaking and entering.
This is only for breaking, not entering.
I think it's interesting that Catwoman always usually has some kind of helper person.
Yeah.
Some kind of like other like girl that either she's taking care of, like in the Frank Miller Year One version, there's the other like young prostitute that's with her, right? In this she has her assistant, because I guess apparently you couldn't get away with a young prostitute in 1992
Sure.
children's cartoons.
Sure. Yeah. This is no.
But she does kind of always have like a link to something outside of the, capes and cows.
Yeah, something to ground her.
Mm-hmm.
Besides her cats.
Right. It's like her outfit.
My glasses.
My glasses. I can't see without my glasses.
Oh.
Now, see, this is a moment where... and dead.
There's the He-Man style of scene blocking, where as soon as they're off the camera, they're gone forever.
Right. With the glasses off, that would have been a good moment for Bruce's mask to get ripped off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
right.
I will never not like that trope.
Right.
Those outlines, that heavy inking is so good.
Mm-hmm. As is the white inking in his cape. Looks very Golden Age to me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Nothing
also,
says Golden Age.
She figured it out immediately.
Right.
Unless she didn't realize it was Bruce.
I don't think she realizes that it's Bruce. I think she just, Yeah. All right, now, I love the globe-trotting episodes of this show.
Yeah.
And for Batman, I would usually say, you need to stick around Gotham City. But I don't know. Maybe it's just something... Yeah, that's fair.
They have a good ratio of Gotham to outside of Gotham.
That's true. Very small-scale stories at times.
Yeah.
Bullet for Bullock being one that jumps to mind. That's a great episode.
I thought of the Ra's al Ghul ones.
Oh, for the globe-trotting,
100%.
That's the first one I would go to as well. And a globe-trotting Batman is very 70s Denny O'Neil anyways.
Yeah.
Leads straight back to Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, and you're like, Jesus, Denny, just go back to Green Lantern. We know you want to.
Or just make him Bond, because that's essentially what he was doing.
Yeah.
Did you ever read any of Denny O'Neil's Shadow comics?
I don't know if I realized that he wrote Shadow comics.
He sure did for DC.
Cool.
There's a great story called 1941, I want to say,
I'll have to check it out.
Not the Steven Spielberg blockbuster flop, but
No, I don't want to check that out. I have no intention or inclination towards watching that.
Have you never seen it?
No.
Oh, it's worth a once over. In a what happened here kind of way.
It's like
because
over
everyone
2
is so
hours,
talented.
right?
No, it's not. I don't think it's that long.
Oh, for some reason
and it's like a slapstick comedy.
yeah.
And like Dan Aykroyd's in it, and John Belushi, and just
You
like
can't
there's
imagine
so
what
much talent. Like, how did this not work?
Yeah. Did she put it in another jar that said danger?
It may be like those Russian dolls.
Yeah, the nesting dolls.
Right.
Matryoshka. I'm not sure exactly how you say it.
Yeah, she is pretty cavalier about just opening this thing up, though, I will say.
Right? Like, it's just in a fucking thermos, man.
Right.
like one of the goons is like, I'm so hungry. Good thing
suit.
Good thing my boyfriend packed lunch. Oh no.
Okay, now, in terms of villain death traps, that's a pretty fucking cool death trap.
Sure.
Here's a canister of some disease, and I know how fast this acid will take to eat through it. So a couple drops, leave. I mean, of course, you should always just shoot Batman. Just shoot Batman. Of course,
this is one of the few plans where, like, leaving is a necessity.
That's true.
But, like, it doesn't excuse her from not just fucking shooting Batman.
Right, and it leads to her overall plan as well.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
How did they not think about Catwoman having cat claws?
Cat claws, sure. Right. Your name is the Claw.
Yeah.
And you don't recognize other people's
claws.
claws.
You're old hat at this.
Right. If anyone.
If anyone.
Right. Oh. Giggity. But first, I've got to destroy the plague.
That's not melodrama. I don't know what is.
With fire.
Right? Kill it with fire and all that.
Just putting out fires with gasoline, man.
Yeah. The most effective method. I believe I'd have put on my bat mask.
I was just thinking it was time to pull something out of the old utility belt there.
Surely he has a lighter.
Batman, my man. I ain't got no fire, man. I ain't got no fire.
The bat
matches. I quit smoking, man, or else if I had known. There it is. Good thing it's a colored poison. Plague.
Right. Again, a very fast-acting grenade.
And, like, would the fire not also follow Batman and go into the truck and, like, explode
feel like
the
it
truck?
Would. Oh, thank God it hit the TNT warehouse.
Yes, it's being looked over now by top men.
Top men.
There you go. All right, now that's a Bond move. That feels like something Pierce Brosnan's Bond would do.
Absolutely.
Right.
God, I feel like if this were any cheesier, they'd start playing 1812 Overture.
Love it. Yeah. There comes the cavalry.
You're surrounded. Do not venture into the fire. Oh, I forgot about that part.
What? The kick in the face. Yeah, the claw can't be, you can't get rid of a claw that easily.
Right.
They'll claw their way back.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That was bad for even puns.
Aha. So majestic.
That's why you don't piss off nature.
Yep. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
Now, what is that from? I know that's a
Like
quote.
one of the very early "I can't believe it's not butter" commercials.
Oh my god.
Like from the fucking 70s.
Wow.
Something for you to remember me by. Unlike the explosion that took out your base.
Mm-hmm. For this whole episode. Well, I think the kiss was meant for, was meant for Bruce,
Batman.
but, yeah.
Of course.
No, not quite. And is the story of their relationship, She almost got him.
Yeah, I almost got him.
Love it. That's such a great ending. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good.
No, he's here to arrest you.
Damn.
Right? Yeah.
So good.
No, you're here to get really kinky, aren't you, Batman?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I brought the fuzzy bat cuffs.
Don't worry, if you try hard enough, you can get out of them.
All right.
Yep, I saw Adrienne Barbeau there. Wow, I had no idea that was her.
Love it. All right,
I get angry
that was
still every time. I'm sorry, go on. What?
No. Go ahead.
Every time I see now Batman created by Bob Kane.
Oh, and Bill Finger.
Yeah, right? Like, I was like, I'm one of those people.
Batman and Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that documentary. Like, guaranteed to cry every time I see it. Who has some really good ones? That being one of the best on there. So just super solid. Just a really good two-parter there.
Yeah, I mean,
all the two-parters are epic.
Those capture the ethos of the Batman animated series by leaps and bounds. Like, you get a villain, ostensibly, somebody just doing bad things, who is clearly a protagonist.
Yes. Right.
Alongside Batman.
Sure. Yeah.
So basically, they're tearing Batman's interest in Twain, or Batman's pursuits in Twain, and making us follow along with his
moral dilemma.
Yeah, dilemma.
Like, even kids can grasp that there's not that much different between Batman and Catwoman, but she steals, which we know is bad, but you might do it if you were in her situation. You know what I mean? Like, if you could and had the equipment and everything like that.
Plus, they gave her something else a little more
noble.
Yeah, I was gonna say not upstanding, but and then you fill in the rest. Yeah.
Right.
Which I think is a smart move on their point and on their part, because it is tailored for an audience that is less critically oriented.
Yeah, totally.
Not to say that kids are stupid, because I know from firsthand experience they're not.
Also, the show does not talk down to them either.
By no means.
And the best cartoons don't. And that, a parent watching it with their kid can get just as much, if not more, enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I mean, look at us.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. 30 years
Love
old.
This shit.
Still sitting here talking about a fucking cartoon. So no, I did hear in the brief bit of research I did for this episode was that Bruce Timm has said he was not super fond of their interpretation of Catwoman in the series.
Did he say why?
Just the whole environmentalism thing. Basically adding
unnecessary.
Right. That, should she have this kind of more moral ambiguity, because she's clearly in, the right, especially, 1992, where, kids are being talked to in school about ozone layer and recycling. It was that was a crazy time to even think of now, them talking to kids that much about, green, if you would, or, public schools would get nailed as pushing climate change theory or something like that in 2019. It's funny how we've almost regressed some in that way.
Yeah.
But then also not surprising that, the same generation raised on those, anti-litter commercials and like talking about the ozone layer and stuff in school, and we had Captain Planet on TV. Like,
Yeah.
It's no wonder that generation grows up to be the ones leading the fight against climate change. Not to get too soapboxy there.
No, I totally get what you're saying. In fact, I honestly think that this is not to Bruce Timm's point by any means, but I'm getting closer and closer to the opinion that Selena Kyle's almost violent activism is more along the lines of what will actually save humanity than us banning plastic straws.
Right.
I mean, I'm serious about this.
No,
and there's just a thing that came out about scientists saying that there should be civil disobedience, or else we're all going to die. But anyway, we'll see you next time on.
Right. For the cheery, just your plastic straws thing made me think of this. Did you see SNL when they had the presidential impeachment debate with all different candidates? Oh man, Joe Biden's line was so great from it. Yeah. It was Woody Harrelson was Joe Biden, and he was summarizing. Boy. Yeah, and at the end he's like, "In summary, America, I'm like plastic straws. I've always worked. I've been around forever. But now you're mad at me." And like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's funny.
But no, so back to Catwoman. The design between the early versions here and the later ones, where she is in the all black, once they do the sharper angled redesign.
Yeah, when it changes stations.
Right. Which one do you like better? Which one do you?
Early one.
Really? Okay. I still like the
I
last one.
I don't
she's
dislike the
very
second
pale
either.
in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just I don't know. Maybe just because it's closer to Michelle Pfeiffer's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love me some Michelle Pfeiffer.
I mean, that white gold, right?
Right.
Okay, so the best thing I've ever heard was the Kids Bop version of Uptown Funk, because I never thought that in my lifetime, my brief speck of a moment on this earth, I would hear a choir of preteens all shout together, "Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold." That
white gold. Good Lord.
You could hear the mustache hairs coming in.
I'm not sure why I like this so much.
Yeah.
Can't quite put a finger on it.
Oh, it's so I fucking
give me
lost it.
Give me like 3 years and I'll put like 5 fingers on it.
Yeah.
But
funny.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're no longer a kid show here.
Yeah.
No more family friendly. All right, so I think that about covers it for this episode of Classic Cartoon Rewind. We do have another 2-parter on the horizon, but to get there, we have to do another one of our 3-parter episodes next time.
I think we're all fit enough to run that marathon.
Oh, sure. It's and the miracle of the internet here, like you can put us on pause. You can finish the first one. Or, be interrupted in the middle of an episode and pause us and then be fine. So next time we will be covering episodes 17, 18, and 19. That's See No Evil, Beware the Gray Ghost, which is one of my personal favorites, and Prophecy of Doom,
also
which is just a great title. So really, man, all 3 of those are really one great episode, I feel like, and 2 really solid episodes.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a hell of an episode, a hell of a podcast episode.
Right. So I'm really looking forward to next time, and then after that we'll get into Feet of Clay, which I know is one of Clay. Right? I know that's one of Nat's favorite.
Well, I think I've mentioned it. I've taken up a whole lot of airtime in the previous episodes just talking about
as your
Feet
favorite.
Of Clay.
Yeah, as your favorite 2-parter.
I'm so excited.
Yes, and one of the best pieces of animation in animation history is in that second parter too.
Yeah,
but
that's one of the ones that I remember as well as the Poison Ivy episode that we went over.
Okay, the first one, the Pretty Poison one.
Yeah,
the Pretty Poison. Okay.
Yeah, I can go I haven't seen it in years, but I can probably tell you shot for shot what's coming.
Oh sure.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. All right, well, that's going to do it this time for Classic Cartoon Rewind. I have been your host, Carter Hutchison.
I've been your co-host, Nat Yance.
And we'll see you next time, kiddos. Bye.
Later.
Oh, man. Yeah, gotta love bringing back Adam West for
This has been a Grassroots Comics production. Da da da. So what's your story?
Well, some kind of silly cartoon.
You got a problem with cartoons?